and today we're going to be discussing the movie 13 Fanboy. So what is 13 Fanboy? It is a movie where a crazed fan starts stalking and killing off well-known actors from the Friday the 13th franchise. Feeling addicted that his childhood heroes never wrote him back when sending fan mail, he begins to target them, killing them off one by one using Jason-inspired attacks. Sounds like a cool concept, right? But in order to get to the true impact of the story, I've got a story to tell. Let me ask, what do you guys know about love? Do you believe in it? Is it something that you wish to find or avoid at all costs? One of the most basic yet profound ways of displaying your love is through a love letter. It can be handwritten, typed, or crafted in any manner you choose. But the purpose of a love letter is to express how you feel of that which you are passionate about. And some people are really good at this. And me, I consider myself quite a good writer. I've written 3 or 4 love letters in my time, but each time has not reaped the benefits or the results that I wished. In fact, of the 4 love letters that I've written, I've struck out all 4 times. And I can remember it. My first crush was a girl named Denitris. And I remember giving her a letter, and I put a lot of heart in that letter. And at such a young age, that's quite a gargantuan task. But I remember my teacher grabbing the letter and reading it before the entire class. I mean, that sucked. But what can I say? But as a much older guy, I saw myself writing 3 other letters. One on Valentine's Day. She broke up with me. And another one prior to graduating college. She chose someone else. And then there was one a bit later. Yes, a foreign girl. I remember trying to learn her language and writing her a love letter in her native tongue. But I can say she was a bit more appreciative, but still it didn't work out. I guess you can say I was shooting shots before the term became a thing. But after some deep thought, it hit me. It wasn't that I was a bad writer or that I couldn't express myself. I found out that no matter what words you say, no matter how much you pour your heart out to a person, if it is not within them, if they don't have the capacity to receive your expression, you will always come up short. And I consider myself quite the wordsmith. But no matter how much emotion-driven language you pour out, if the person isn't in the right headspace to receive your expression, it's not gonna land. Which brings us to our movie of the week, 13 Fanboy. And the movie is from Deborah Voorhees. Yes, that Deborah Voorhees. Tina from Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, that's her. And depending on whom you ask, there will be 2 viewpoints of this movie. People who love it and people who hate it. But let's start with the people who hate it first. Please, bear with me because I'm going somewhere with this. The people who hate it will talk about the lack of quality. They'll say it's not original because it's quite like something they've seen before. And they'll even point to the tropes that is being rehashed over and over. That sounds pretty bad, right? Could they be correct? Perhaps. But this is why their opinion will differ from ours. And by ours, I mean the horror community. You see, this movie was not meant to appeal to the casuals. This movie was meant to appeal to us, the diehard horror community. You see, we have the prerequisites that's within us. We have the capacity to receive the love that Deborah Voorhees is pouring out in this movie. Every cameo, every feature, even every Easter egg and nuance, we are privy enough to receive every bit of it. When I saw Corey Feldman, and when I saw Kane Hodder, when I saw Lee McCoy, I had the capacity within me to receive the love that she was pouring out within this movie. And there was an intimate tone weaved in every scene that only the horror community could appreciate. But what you want to know, what you want to find out, is it any good? And the answer is yes, if you're within the horror community. Everything about this movie was a love letter to the horror fans. There are nuances, there are versus scenes that only a horror fan would truly appreciate. There's going to be some scenes where you're going to be like, of course, this makes sense. Even the reveal of the killer is going to hit you and you're going to be like, Of course this person is the killer. There's so much that this movie got right on such a molecular level that it could only be appreciated by someone that's ingrained within the horror community. And just like those girls whom I wrote those love letters to, it could only be appreciated by those who share the same values and passion as you. In conclusion, 13 Fanboy hits all the right notes for a niche community. But I don't want to miss out on how thoughtful Deborah Voorhees is in this movie. In fact, she did a move that takes humility to pull off, which is yet another thing that I admire about her and this project. She didn't leave it to chance that we should automatically know who these actors were. She went on to label who these people were and give us the prominent roles for which they are known for. And to me, this spoke volumes. And yes, I gotta give these guys who played Jason all the props in the world. Even in later stages in their career, these guys look great. I mean, they can play Jason right now. I mean, we got to see these guys' true acting chops and not being some mindless zombie killer. These guys showed range. And with this being a slasher, you have to give props to the gore factor in this movie. This movie is gory and it has some serious kills. And just like those people who can't appreciate the letters, who can't appreciate the love that's poured out in this movie, we can appreciate it because we understand that those tropes are an homage to things that came before this project. I mean, I can go on and on about this movie. This is a movie for us, created by someone of us. Major props.